Well, my grandmother always used to tell me how different the countries were. You know, how they were independent and not just a state of the European Union. People will come from all over the world to see and experience the European Union. And like, this unique continent with so many different cultures and so much history.
We'll go on about how important it is to know your roots, hold into your culture. She was all the time telling me these stories about the culture that once was in the state of Austria.
The culture that once was in the state of Austria? How are things changed?
You know, things are actually changed more than I think. For example, all these churches are now empty and we no longer speak German. Our national sport was the thing, sport, winter sport.
Come on, don't be so nostalgic. It's 100 years ago. Times have changed. It's not possible to live like that anymore. It could only end badly.
It is so weird to imagine that every country had once a different language, a different religion, and a different culture. How could they communicate with the neighbor countries and understand each other?
You know, people don't care anymore. The nationalism in the European Union doesn't exist anymore. And all these traditions are just like lost. You know, everything is just the same. You know, I have seen some old footage when my grandmother was traveling through the European Union. In her young days, you could really see the difference between the countries. You really could see the difference when you pass a border, see how the buildings are different. People still cooked and there were like these cute little food stores and all these little cafes around.
I find it a bit of a shame too that we've lost some of the traditions we had, but I can see why it had to be done.
Exactly my point. Look at Asia today. Asia's a big continent and people are still fighting there because every country has a different language and a different point of view. They're not functioning. It's just too many different countries in one group. They'll have to make a lot of changes to make it work. And there, we're already one step ahead of them. We've done those changes. It's peace in the European Union now.
Taking away religion, taking away culture and borders, taking away traditions and making everything the same isn't preventing war, it's taking away human value.
Now we talked about the changes in the EU the last 100 years. This week, the last supermarket closed down and President Nicholas Anderson announced that from now on we all have to buy food substances consigned by the EU. How do you think this will affect the EU the next 100 years?